Hi everybody, welcome back to All That and Then Some with Dewana. I'm Dewana. This is your first time here. Can y'all do me a favor? Just do me a solid. Hit that like button. And then go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. Yeah, please. Please and thank you. But if you've been here before, hey girl, hey. How you doing? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, what y'all want to talk about today? I really want to talk about how my head looks so little compared to these bazungas I got on my body. Lord! Breast reduction, I know you're on the way. I should have put that on my vision board. I would like a breast reduction for to be the vision that comes true in 2018. I'm not lying. But let me get to where I'm getting to. The topic today is running to nothing. And that can mean a lot of different things. That can mean, for me personally, I don't talk about what it means to other people, but you can always comment. It's another thing you can do, comment. But for me, running to nothing, I took that to mean that there were a lot of times I was running into relationships or situationships. Because a lot of the relationships I were in weren't even relationships. They were situationships. We was in a situation for a minute and then it was over. So I was running to what? To nothing. I didn't get nothing out of it. But a wet tail. Have you heard that before? Has your mama said that to you? That you ain't getting nothing but a wet tail? Yeah. I never knew what that meant, but now that I'm old, I guess I do now. So, but to tie into that, I want to tell the story on how I came up with the name, the name for my YouTube channel, All That and Then Some. And it's also my blog name, All That and Then Some, at WordPress.com. Go check it out. It's also my podcast name on Anchor, Anchor FM, All That and Then Some with Dewana. Go check it out. But yeah, so I'm going to tell the story. I told the story on my podcast on Monday, but my cousins and my best friend, they told me that I didn't tell the whole story. But pretty much they were like, I'll get to it. So back when I was 18, 19 years old, I was in love with Tribe Called Quest. And I loved myself some Fife Dog. Fife Dog from Tribe Called Quest. He was short, dark skinned, and he had the prettiest brown eyes that I've ever seen. Okay, so that was my crush. He was playing at the local university here at a concert. So me and my best friend went to the concert, and I took my two little cousins. So one cousin is 3 years younger than me, and one is 5 years younger than me. You got to keep that in mind when I'm telling this story. So if I was 18, then my one cousin was only 15, and my other cousin was only 13. Okay? So we went to the concert, and during the concert, you know, they were like, check the rhyme, y'all. Check the rhyme, y'all. I swore I was in the audience. I was looking at Fife Dog, and I swore for God he was looking at me. Like, I know he was looking at me. I don't care what nobody say. He was looking at me. So in my head, I had this fantasy that after the concert, we were going to get together. I was going to go on tour with him. I was living that, you know, true story fantasy in my head. Let's fast forward. Concert's over. We find out which hotel we thought they were in. So we went there, right? We knocked on some doors. I don't know what happened. Anyway, we ended up in this other group called Black Moon in their hotel room. They used to sing a song called Who Got the Props? Who Got the Props? 5 feet deep, Evil D and Buckshot. That was my song too. They had another song that I liked. I can't remember it right now. But anyway, so we ended up chilling in their room. So it's me, my best friend, my 15-year-old cousin, and my 13-year-old cousin. They shouldn't have been out there. Let me just keep it plain. Let me just keep it real. They shouldn't have been out there. But they were. They was with me. So we sitting there we kikiing for a couple hours or whatever. And I started talking to one of the guys, and we had a connection. We had a connection, okay? So we left. I left with the guy. Yeah, I left with him. And I was gone for a minute, which I thought was only a couple hours. And from my podcast, I found out I was gone for about 6 hours. We ain't gonna talk about that. But let's fast forward. I remember when I got back to the room. When I opened that door, I could still see their faces when I came in the door. They were so salty. You understand me? Oh, my cousin Tamika, I'm talking about her. Her face that she had then, she still has that same face now. She still has that same face now when she get mad. That's what's so funny. I could see that face. I was like, you know, my bad. And they couldn't go nowhere because I had the car, so they were kind of stuck. So I feel bad. But that was an example of me running into something that turned out to be nothing. You understand what I mean? But let me rewind back to how much I love Fife. I still sat there thinking that A Tribe Called Quest was going to still come. Did they ever come? No, they didn't. But they had a song out called What's the Scenario back in the day. Like, here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? So he had a part in there. His part was, I'm all that and then some, short, dark, and handsome. To tell you where I come from. That saying right there, it stuck in my head. So when God gave me this vision for this All That and Then Some platform, and for me to start sharing my stories and stuff, for some reason, Fife Dog dropped into my spirit and said, Dawana, you're all that and then some. I had to go with it. I had to go. Fife Dog talked to me. First God talked to me. Then Fife Dog came from behind and said, you know, because, you know, he's up there too. R.I.P. R.I.P. Fife. I still love you. So, you know, he fell in line and said, yo, God, I remember I saw her at a concert back in the 90s. She was in love with me. She was in love with me, yo. So let me go ahead and drop this nugget into her head real quick. All that and then some. Bam. There it was. And that's where we at. I just want all women to feel appreciated. I want all women to be empowered. I want all women to be able to say, hey, guess what? I am all that and then some. Yes, that's how I want everybody to say it. That's how I'm going to be saying it anytime that I say it. I'm all that and then some. But that's just one example of how I ran into something that turned into nothing. And I did a lot of that. So this is pretty much of me just running off and leaving people. There's been so many times that I have just left people in the dust. Friends, family, kids, running after some man that didn't turn into nothing. I was talking to my sister the other day. And I was like, remember my graduation when I graduated from high school? And my mom rented me to rent a car. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, remember? And then I left you and I didn't come back. She was like, oh, yeah, you was going. You didn't come back till the next morning till 7 o'clock. I was like, wait a minute. No. I was only going for like 2-3 hours. She was like, oh, wait, that was when you left me another time. Trifling, y'all. Trifling. But I'm talking about the high school time. I had left her. No, she's in New Jersey. I'm in New Jersey. She ain't from New Jersey. I'm riding around. We're riding around in my rental looking for somebody. I saw this guy who I liked. He pulled over. I pulled over. I jumped in the car with him. Told my sister, I'll be back. She don't know nothing about nowhere to go. I left her sitting in the parking lot. I left my sister sitting in the parking lot. Thinking that this guy that I had this crush on for the past year, we're going to have a serious conversation. Who knows what was going to go on? Who knows what I thought was going to go on? Well, I knew what I thought was going to go on. But I thought it was going to turn into this full-fledged relationship, even though I was going away to Hampton University in August. I felt that we could weather the storm. You know, this was my fantasy. This was me in every relationship that I got in, even the situationships. The situationships I thought were going to turn into relationships, and I ran into them. Anytime somebody opened the door, I ran right through it. I ran right through it, and it turned into nothing. Nothing but a learning experience. Nothing but a learning experience. And nothing but me telling you this story right now so I could help somebody out there who might be running. Ain't nothing wrong with running. Ain't nothing wrong with running, because in the run, you sweat, you grow, you stretch. You know what I'm saying? You gain strength from running. Ooh, where'd I come up with that? That was good. You gain strength from running. You gain endurance from running. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to keep on running. Sometimes you got to stop. You got to stop and say, am I done running? Like, am I over this whole running? Can I sit down and just stop running to everybody else and run to me? That's what I had to figure out. Dewana, you have to learn how to run to yourself. And that took me a long time. I mean, there were so many times. I remember one time during my sister's college years. Wait, this is a funny story. This is a funny story. Another time of me running, just running off. Oh, I thought that was my mama out there. It was a homecoming. And she was living on campus. So she probably was like around 18. I started at a young age running into nothing. Ain't that crazy? I was probably, if she was 18, 19, I was 15, 16. I'm hanging out at the college campus thinking I'm acting like I'm 21 and I ain't nothing but 15. I didn't care. So anyway, we was drinking, we was hanging out and everything like that. And then I saw some people from my high school in Jersey. And I was like, oh, hey, so-and-so. Hey, so-and-so. They're like, Dewana, come hang out with us. Come on, come hang out with us. And I was like, all right. I think I had lost my sister, but I was like, I'll find her later. Went off, didn't tell nobody where I went. I just left. You understand? Left, hung out with those guys. It was like 5 guys. Hung out with them for the rest of the night. Woke up the next morning. I said, oh, snap. It's like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I got to go. I said, drop me off. Now, back then, when I was 15, they didn't have, like, cell phones. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about early 90s. A cell phone was probably like, who knows? It probably was big as I don't know what, number one. So, and my mom wouldn't have bought me one no way. I think they had beepers, but I ain't had no beeper. You know, beepers were for drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? So, I was like, I didn't have no phone to call my sister and be like, yo, don't go to my house and say that you don't know where I'm at because I'm about to go there. Okay? I get them to drive me down the street from my aunt's house. And I get dropped off, right? And I'm thinking, I'm in the clear. I'm going to walk to the house, knock on the door. Ain't nobody going to know nothing. Don't you know I got out that car? And as soon as I got out, my uncle came from around the other way. And if he didn't tear me a new one, got in the car, my sister had been over there like 7 o'clock in the morning, saying she didn't know where I was at. She had lost me. She was crying, upset. Me, I had the time of my life. Once again, I ran off into nothing. You know, you get the symbolism I'm trying to make here about when you're young. Let me just be real. I done ran into nothing in my 30s. I ain't ran into nothing in my 40s, but I done ran into a whole bunch of nothings in my 30s. You know, it takes time where you've got to sit back and say, I built up enough strength. I built up enough endurance. I built up enough of a regimen. Let me sit back and let this stuff get all up in my spirit and learn how to just run with myself. Learn to just love on myself instead of looking for love from everybody else. You run into all these people thinking you're going to get love, and they don't, you know what they really want. They don't want that. They want some loving, okay? But it ain't the loving that you're looking for. But you give it to them thinking that's what they want, or that's what they need, and that's the way that you're going to get them to love you. Honey, I've been there, done that. Over and over and over again. So that's what I want to talk about today. Running to nothing. It's a hard lesson, but it's a good lesson. Running to nothing, to me, it's a positive thing. I ran into a lot of nothings, but look at me now. I run to myself. I run to God now. There's nothing wrong with running. You just got to know when to stop. You got to know when your time is over and it's time to stop and walk it out. And walk it out. And walk it out. Let's walk it out. Let's walk it out. East side walk it out. West side walk it out. Now walk it. Hey, all right. I'm done telling stories about my hoish ways. I'm done for the week. I'll have another one next week. Oh, gosh. See, back then, though, it wasn't... would I be considered... I don't know. That's for another day. But just keep that in mind. It's okay to run to nothing. But sometimes we got to stop and walk it out. I like that. I'm going to keep that. All right. So, you know what's next, right? My faithful watchers, y'all know what's next. It's the word of the week. That's what it is. It's the word of the week. That's what it is. So, I just found this word today because they had words like happenstance and octogenarian and cadence. And I'm like, how am I going to use that word? That's not a word that I like. Like, I don't like none of those words. But today, my word of the day popped up and I said, oh, that's my word of the day. That is going to be my word of the day. So, my word of the day is cod swallop. Do you hear that? Cod swallop. That don't even sound right. That sounds like a made-up word. Those are the best words that sound like a made-up word. Yeah. And it's spelled C-O-D-S-W-A-L-L-O-P. Cod swallop. And guess what it means? Guess what it means? Nonsense. Y'all could be looking at me right now saying, well, daggone, Dewana, you just talked a whole bunch of cod swallop. And I surely did. I surely did. But it's going to hit somebody in the noggin just like it hit me in the noggin when it came to me. You know, and let me tell you something. I hear a lot of cod swallop. Every day, all day. You know who gives you the most cod swallop? Men. Men will give you a whole bunch of cod swallop. And us women will believe it. That's what's crazy. We'll believe it. Because we don't know how to, we haven't got to the maturity level of saying, you know what, I'm better than that. I'm better than that. There's been so many times recently in the last year or so, I've had to tell men, I've had men come to me, you know, and just say the most profane things. First of all, I'm 43 years old. You're not going to talk to me like that. Like, you telling me things you want to do to me, that doesn't turn me on. That doesn't make me say, ooh, I think I want to go out on a date with him. So, for the past couple of years, I've just turned away so many people, but there are people who are my age. These are men that are my age talking about, hey, girl, you know what I would like to do? I would like to do this with this, and this part of your body. Seriously? How old are we? I'm not 15, I'm not 16, I'm not 12, I'm not 21. When you come to a grown woman who is getting to learn, that is learning to love herself the way she deserves to be loved, you can't come to her with no okie doke. And don't think that just because you got to be my age to knock down okie doke. Oh, no, you don't. You just got to have that maturity and that self-love in yourself to be like, I ain't dealing with no okie doke man. I ain't dealing with no man who gonna come to me with a whole bunch of cod swallop. You see how that word just slid right up in there? Cod swallop. Yes, use it. Use that word in a sentence. But that's all I got for y'all today. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, share it. Sharing is caring. Isn't that what they say? Sharing is caring. I don't really like to share a lot of things, but I'm getting better. So if I can share, so can you. Share the video. And let's make this, no, we're not going to make it. This is going to be a movement. This is a movement. All that and then some is a movement, ladies. And I want y'all to get in on the ground floor. Get in on the ground floor. Because it's going to go up and up and up, 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 up. Ooh, I don't know where that song came from. Remember that song? Oh, say who making love to your old lady while you out making love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yo, I've been listening to like the Atlantic Star Pandora station hits all day long. Hits all day long. But now I'm just going off on a tangent. So join me again next Thursday. I'll be back with another topic of discussion. I want to leave you ladies with this. Please remember, you're all that and then some. Okay? Bye.